Is Bitcoin currently right now pricing in their latest upgrade since 2017? Or is this current price action all due to Elon Musk's latest tweets? Will which stock actually hit $45 very soon, or is this all just a pump and dump scheme? And finally, will the richest men alive in this planet get away from not paying taxes? Let's find out. Welcome back everyone, I'm your host, the greatest hodler of all time, and today we have some very important and interesting crypto and stock market news. So if we look at CoinMarketCap, we can see that the crypto space has been fairly quiet today and nothing too dramatic at the time I'm recording. Bitcoin's hovering at about 40,000 per coin, and Ethereum's hovering at about 2,500 per coin. And if we look here, we can see that the total crypto market cap is at 1.76 trillion, and right now it's just up about like 1% or so. And if we head on to the stock market today, we can see that it's also fairly flat, nothing too crazy. Before we begin, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell for my video alerts. And if you haven't already, please smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. Now without further ado, let's dive right in. So first article here, why Bitcoin's Taproot Upgrade matters. And this is actually a very important upgrade in the Bitcoin network. And if we hover down here, we'll pinpoint the most important stuff because it's very technical. And over here, I think they kind of summarized it really well. So first, they're gonna increase privacy, and this is very important because if you don't already know, the FBI and the government can actually reverse engineer the transactions and kind of pinpoint who it is, especially if you're doing all this on an exchange, right? Because they do get your KYC, which is know your customer, so they do have your info. So if they're able to kind of map out everything, they can kind of figure who you are. So this is a very important upgrade in my opinion. So next up, we also have lower fees, which is awesome because who wants to pay for fees, right? Because the problem with fiat currency is that when we want to transfer money overseas, we have to pay hefty fees, right? And I'm glad to see that this upgrade will lower the fees. And then next up, there's a new type of signature called Snort signatures that will enhance smart contract functionality. And this smart contract is pretty much what Ethereum has an upper hand on compared to Bitcoin. And pretty much a smart contract is like putting your money into a contract until the requirements are met. And lastly, Taproot will make transaction on the Lightning Network cheaper, and this is very crucial because the Lightning Network will make Bitcoin an actual currency, because right now Bitcoin can only process about 5 transactions per second. Compared to a decentralized company like Visa, they can do about 64,000 transactions per second. And this upgrade is gonna obviously increase the amount of transactions that the Bitcoin network can provide to the users. I want to talk about Laser Eyes, and pretty much Laser Eyes is like it's like a marketing campaign on Twitter where people put laser eyes on their profile picture and they won't take it off until Bitcoin hits $100,000 per Bitcoin. And they have a really good reason for it, and that's because they're actually looking at the stock to flow model right here. And this is probably the best way to value Bitcoin. Bitcoin's just like a coin, right? What is that coin going to do? It's not going to go out there and produce cash flow. However, Bitcoin is a rare asset, and the only way to kind of value a rare asset is by the stock to the flow, right? An example would be Mona Lisa, right? That's a rare asset, and there's only one in the world, right? And let's say if there's now 2 Mona Lisas in the world, then the value of the very first one will decrease because now there's more supply. So yeah, pretty much simple macroeconomics, supply and demand. So Plan B is the person that created this stock to flow model, and it kind of looks like it's playing out exactly how he kind of created it. So right now we can see that today Bitcoin should be worth $66,000 per Bitcoin, but because Elon Musk and all this other FUD, it kind of dropped the price below it, which means that you could be getting a deal if you buy Bitcoin today. So if we hover over this chart, we can see that Bitcoin's about to probably hit $100,000 by early September. Obviously it's not guaranteed, not financial advice. Do your own research and due diligence, but this is what people are looking at, especially if you're in the Bitcoin community. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And let's head on to the next article. Musk says that Tesla will accept Bitcoin when clean energy is used in mining. And if we look at the tweet down here, he said that first off, he said that, Tesla sold 10% of the holdings of their Bitcoin position. And the reason why he did it was to show other companies that, you can buy Bitcoin and kind of just flip it and kind of make your cash position, bigger, right? Because if you don't already know, cash is trash, right? It just decreases in value because the government loves printing money. So next, he says that when there's confirmation of a reasonable 50% clean energy usage by miners with positive future trend, Tesla will resume allowing Bitcoin transactions. And I kind of understand where Elon's coming from because it contradicts the whole entire mission of Tesla, which is to move the world to sustainable energy. The Bitcoin community really doesn't like what he did, and I agree because he's been kind of tweeting and manipulating the market. I'm not a fan of that, and I just think that overall we shouldn't be kind of idolizing billionaires. Like, the purpose of Bitcoin is to actually help the poor get richer, right? So if we look into the next chart here, this is what Elon's trying to refer to. And I've seen a lot of, people tweeting saying, oh, Bitcoin's already over 50%, right? And they're saying how it's over 70%. Over here, we can see that, miners use 76% of renewable energies as a part of their mix. But we have to consider that miners could be using only 50% renewable energy, and then the other half, they're using, dirty energy, right? So what Elon is trying to refer to is the hashing, and it's only currently at 39%, and he wants to bring that up to about 50 or higher. And I think that's possible, especially with his type of influence. And we look here, on Sunday he tweeted this, and it did spike the price up because people are pricing that in. And I'm pretty sure this is all because of the tweet and not because of the Taproot upgrade. And I don't think the Taproot upgrade will be priced in until probably November, right? Because that's when it's actually gonna get implemented onto the Bitcoin network. So next on the news, implied volatility surging for context logic, Wish stock options. So this is pretty much Wish stock, and if you don't know, Wish is that company where you buy stuff and they give you like a crappier version of it, right? And a lot of the meme stocks are kind of exploding lately, and this was one of them. Last week, I believe during pre-market it hit about $15 per share, right? And then it went back down to about $10 per share. And right now people are looking at the stock option market and they're seeing that the stock might hit $45 by July 16th 2021. Meme stocks are very controversial, and there is a possibility because fundamentally Wish, I think, is doing pretty well. And I'll get into that in just a second. But if we look into Reddit, right, everyone was talking about Wish stock, and people actually gave good reasons on why it's undervalued. And if you look here, right, they're only trading at a $7 billion market cap, but if we go into their financials, right, we can see that they actually made about $2.5 billion in revenue. That's pretty crazy to me, in my opinion, right? And if we look into their balance sheet, they have barely any debt, and they also have a lot of cash, I believe. Yeah, they have about $2 billion in cash, right? And almost, they can pay off this debt right now. And, it's very hard for a company to go bankrupt with no debt. And they were almost cash positive last year. So, I mean, fundamentally, there is a good reason to own this stock. Definitely speculative, and this is not financial advice. It's just my opinion. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. It's not a bad stock, right? Just because Wall Street bets all talk about it doesn't mean it's a bad stock. So the last article on this news is that the FBI now investigating leaks that shows Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk paid zero income tax. And this news is very controversial, and it kind of gives a bad taste to people that don't invest in the stock market because they see these people as billionaires that are kind of greedy. However, the rich people understand how this tax system works, right? And we can do exactly what they do. It's just that the average Joe won't kind of try to dig deep and figure out why, right? So Elon Musk currently lives in Texas. I believe Jeff Bezos is in Washington, right? And if we look into this chart here, we can see that there's no income tax in Washington and there's no income tax in Texas, right? Media is always giving a lot of hate to billionaires, and it's not their fault. They just understand the system. They probably have accountants that probably teach them how to kind of avoid taxes legally, and we have to understand that they probably get paid in stocks, and if you don't sell that stock, you don't get taxed because that's not a taxable event. And over down here it says the tax system is kind of rigged. And I kind of agree, but that's just how capitalism works. That wraps up for this video. If you enjoyed it, please smash that like button down below and feel free to subscribe if you're new and hit that bell notification for my next video alerts. And if you're interested in buying crypto, feel free to use the referral code in the description box down below. You and I can get a small cash bonus if you sign up today and make some trades. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.